Hey everybody, Chris here, and today we are going to go over the natural notes on the guitar. I understand that there's a lot of beginning guitarists out there, and this kind of information is super helpful, super important, and so I'm going to show you the easy steps to get through this. So let's get started, okay? So the musical alphabet. First of all, you got to know that there's only 7 letters in the musical alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then it starts over. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, okay? Etc., etc. So you got that. Memorize that. Then we got to remember the note names of the guitar strings themselves, okay? So the low string is E, the high string is E, okay? So this is the 6th string. So the 6th string is E, 5th string is A, 4th string is D, 3rd string is G, 2nd string is B, and then we get to that high E string. Okay, so we have 2 E's. Okay, you can come up with a mnemonic device. One of my favorites that I came up with is every awesome day of guitar begins with exercises. So E, A, D, G, B, E. Every awesome day of guitar begins with exercises. Yeah. So there you have that. Okay, so that's really the first piece of information, is just knowing the string names. Okay, so you have those as a starter. Okay, so now we're going to go over just the basic rules of just natural note intervals. Okay, so the intervals between each note, those letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all of them are a whole step, except for there's 2 exceptions, okay? So what is a whole step? On the guitar, a whole step is 2 frets. So if we have this open E string, the low E, a whole step, this first fret is a half step, this next fret is a whole step. So a whole step has 1 fret in between. So if I'm up here at the 5th fret, a whole step up would be the 7th fret, a whole step down would be the 3rd fret. Half step is just 1 fret. 1 fret up or 1 fret down, okay? So hopefully now you've got that piece of information. So back to those letters. Between A and B is a whole step. Between B and C is an exception. B and C is a half step. C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is the other exception. That's a half step. F to G is a whole step, and G to A is a whole step. So all of them are whole steps, except for B to C is a half step, which means that's just a half step away, a 1 fret away, okay? And then E to F. E to F, or E to F, or E to F. That's just 1 fret away, a half step. So those are the 2 exceptions. What are the 2 exceptions? B to C and E to F. Hopefully you'll start hearing that in your head. Those are the 2 exceptions. So with that information, the information you have now, you can figure out all the natural note names on the guitar, okay? Because now you have the given, you have the string names, so this is E, and then you have that formula. So if you want to go, let's try that E, okay, that low E string. If we want to find the F, it's up a half step. E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C is that other exception. That's a half step. So now we're at the 8th fret. C to D is, I mentioned, it's a whole step. And D to E is a whole step. And now we're here. We're back at that E. Okay? So that's E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And you see that E is that 8th note. Okay? And it repeats. Okay? So now you can take any of the strings and find that out. So my recommendation to you would be to take a string a day, take the A string, and then work that formula, okay? Because that formula is super important. Eventually you're going to memorize where all the notes are and come up with other handy ways to do like quick figure out, you know, some of the middle of the fretboard is a little kind of can get a bit confusing, but there's quick ways to figure stuff out. But it is worth your time and effort and practice to go through that formula a bunch, and we're going to go over why in another video, another lesson soon, but this is what we're doing today, okay, in this lesson. So now you have everything you need to know. Now it's just practice. It's just time on your part to figure out all these natural note names on the guitar, and then we'll go with accidentals and stuff later. So I wish you lots of luck. Let me know what questions you have. I do want to let you know that I have like a 5-page handout detailing all of this for all my Patreon subscribers. Every tier gets it. So please consider subscribing to my Patreon. And regardless, I hope you enjoy the material, and we'll see you soon. Enjoy the work. Bye-bye.